Educating, informing, serving. Fact TV, keeping government honest.
Annual meeting of the Saxtons River Village. As chair of the Saxtons River Village trustees, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by Governor Scott as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and pursuant to Addendum 6 to Executive Order 01-20 and Act 92, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. In accordance with Act 92, there's no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting. However, in accordance with the temporary amendments to the open meeting law, I confirm that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone, video, and other electronic means with additional access offered through Fact TV live streaming on YouTube video. Let me admit a few more people here. Okay, Rob. We are using Zoom for this remote meeting. All members of the board have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if desired, participate in this meeting by logging on to, and that's the Zoom website. I can't read the whole thing. We provided public notice of this through electronic means and the Facebook page and posting. And if the public has need to contact us during the meeting by cell phone, the very unreliable number is, excuse me, 802-289-1107. 802-289-1107. Okay, please note that all votes taken during this meeting that are not unanimous will be done by roll call vote in accordance with the law. Otherwise, we'll just wave our hand, but keep your hand up so that the clerk, Carl, can count everybody. We'll start the meeting by taking a roll call of attendance of all members participating. So you all know who you are, and some of you we can't see, but if you don't know each other, it's a good way to learn it. Okay, let's start with the top left. That's Matt.
Matt Brennan.
Okay.
Here.
Ben, will you name who's there?
Sure. At Main Street Arts, we have, stand here in front of the camera. At Main Street Arts, we've got 7 people. Sue Venman, Abigail Gold, Ben Wallace, Guy Payne, Carl Ball, Celia Bohannon, and Art Smith.
Okay. And the next panel we have, you want to introduce yourself, Amy? Unmute yourself and introduce yourself. Uh-oh.
This is Amy Howland.
I'm Kathy Michael.
Okay. Carl? You're already introduced, right? Okay. Lee. Say your name, Lee.
Hi, this is Lee Trapini.
You're alone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next. John, you next.
John Vissers.
And Beth Fissers.
Beth, show your face. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Okay. Alex.
Alex Barrett here, all by myself. Everybody
Okay.
pizza dinner by the bonfire.
Oh, great. Okay, Gordon, it's your turn. Push your mute button. He's trying to figure it out. Well, that's Gordon Corstange and Jean Corstange. Show your face, Jean. We need to know you're a real person. He's still trying. Anyway, okay, Pat, say your name.
here by myself.
Okay. John, I can't see your face. Tip your computer up.
John Bohannon here by myself. I'm not necessarily wanting to be seen.
Okay. Rob Wheeler. Rob, okay.
Wheeler.
Okay, good. Susie,
Susie Peters.
good. We got you, Amy. Oh, here we have John and Sarah.
Yes, we're here.
John and Sarah who?
Dunbar.
Okay,
Nice.
not everybody knows. Sarah,
Sarah Campbell and Ava Larson.
okay, great. Flo, I'm trying to unmute you.
Flo Levin.
Flo Levin. Berta, Bert?
Berta Martin. And Denny's over here too.
Okay, good. Who would we missing? Rick, did we get you already?
I'm here.
Rick
Rick Holloway. All by my lonesome.
Okay, so is that everybody?
Jack, leave it open. Okay, thank you.
Okay, now you have to mute yourselves. Okay, so we don't have everybody talking. Hi, Gordon, have you figured it out yet? All right. So Carl, do you have everybody?
Dean and I are here.
I think so.
Good, okay.
Is there anybody who is not a resident of the village?
Just Susan Small here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Fact TV.
Okay, so the first order of business is to elect a moderator. I'll entertain a motion to elect a moderator.
I would nominate Guy Payne.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Are there any further nominations? All right.
The nominations be closed.
Okay. Is there a second to that? Okay, all in favor of nominations being closed, raise your hand. Okay. Anyone opposed? No. Okay,
Unanimous here at Main Street Arts.
good. All right. Now, all in favor of Guy Payne as the moderators, raise your hands. It's unanimous, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Berta has left the room. Oh, here she comes back again. We can see what you're doing.
Let's go get my pills.
Okay, did we, yes, all right. We have elected Guy Payne as the moderator, and I will hand the meeting over to him.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Now, you might have to get closer to a microphone. We can't hear you.
Oh, boy.
Get closer to Carl's
You want to switch
computer.
Oh, you're speaking Carl's, okay.
Guy doesn't have a computer, huh?
Ah, okay, no, outside of the park.
Okay, and then Cash one going forward for me.
He's gonna have to.
Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment of silence in memory of those from Saxtons River, our neighbors and former residents. And I'll read their names. Ronald Apuzzo, Mary Elaine Arden, Elaine Ann Barnes, Yvonne Boyd, Ted Edward Camp Sr., Jessica D. Clerico, Joseph Engel, James Gia, Brian Halstead, Shirley Rand Felton, Harness Mitchell Wall, Charlotte Minich, Gloria Jean Montague, Sherry Lee Moore, Annie Sawyer Parkman, Francis Riando Sr., Laura N. Rogensky, Vincenzo Ruggiero, Ruth Clark Salter, Leo Sprague, Joseph Steiner, and Karen Whitman. Just a moment of silence, please. Okay. Just,
Yeah, Guy,
yes.
would you please turn towards the camera and take your mask off?
Okay.
And you need to move over a little. Yeah. Okay.
Go talk on my computer. No sneezing allowed. Okay. All
It's
right.
okay as long as you're far enough away from everybody. Okay, continue.
Okay. I know Louise has read off some of the protocol, but I just wanted to review some of the standard protocol for all that. I will please also turn off any cell phones. Mute yourself. I think that's already been done. When I call, please state your name, certainly for myself, the clerk, and the press. Certainly all comments and addresses are made to me. I'm going to ask people to speak just once until all have gone, then we can go around again on any particular motion. I'll repeat the motion after the second and before the vote. Cutting off debate takes a second and a 2/3 vote. Other business cannot be money related. And certainly you folks can overrule any simple majority prevails of any position that I take. And non-residents are certainly welcome, as Louise had said, but please identify yourself. And I think it's been back TV that is here. I don't know of anyone else. And I don't know if there are any other housekeeping things that I've overlooked.
Sounds good.
All right. What we have in terms of Article 2, to approve the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the annual meeting?
Mr. Moderator, I move to approve the minutes of the 2019 annual Saxtons River Village meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Then, seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. The motion on the floor is to approve the minutes of the 2019 meeting. All those in favor say aye or raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Unanimous, I'm assuming. Okay. Motion passed. Article 2. Article 2 is to hear the reports of the trustees, treasurer, auditor, fire department, tax collector, and water pollution control facility.
This is Article 3.
Or article. I meant Article 3. Thanks, Ben.
I move to approve the reports of the trustees, treasurer, fire department, task squad, tax collector, water pollution control facility, and the auditors as printed.
Second.
Matt?
Yep.
Any discussion?
Second.
We had a second.
We're on to discussion of the reports. No? Okay. All right. The motion is to approve the reports of the trustee, treasurer, auditors, fire department, tax collector, and water pollution control facility. All those in favor, raise your hand.
All hands up.
All hands up. Okay.
Mhm.
Motion approved. Reports have been approved. I'm not sure if it's to cast one vote, but we'll do that. Okay. Moving on to Article 4, elections. Nominations are now open for the position of trustee for a 2-year term currently held by Carl Ball, who is seeking re-election.
I'll nominate Carl Ball.
Second.
That was Matt and Ben. Are there any other nominations?
Move the nominations be closed.
Okay. Is there-
Second.
Okay, second, was that Matt?
That was Rob Wheeler.
Okay. Second, all those in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Aye.
Raise your hand.
Opposed?
Phew.
No opposition.
Okay. With that being a unanimous, is there a move to direct the clerk to cast one vote? Or I declare that we'll cast one vote for. Okay. Congratulations. Okay, nominations are now open for the position of trustee for a 1-year term currently held by Ben Wallace, who is seeking re-election.
I'll nominate Ben Wallace.
Okay. Was that
That was Matt.
Matt? Is there a second?
Second that motion.
Abigail. Any other nominations? Yes.
No, doesn't look like any.
Okay.
Conflict of interest here.
Okay.
I moved that we close nominations.
Okay, I was just going to say that.
Second.
To close nominations.
Could I ask who made that motion in the second, please? I don't have a screen.
Matt made the motion.
Yeah.
And Abigail seconded.
To close the nominations?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who seconded that.
Okay. Nominations are closed. All those in favor of Ben Wallace for a 1-year term, say aye.
All right.
Clear nomination.
Raise your hand.
One vote.
Raise your hand.
Okay.
Can't see you. We can't see your vote. That's okay.
Okay. Also, nominations are now open for a 1-year term currently held by Celia Bohannon, who is not seeking election.
What was that?
Carl?
I would nominate Amy Howlett.
Amy Howlett?
Excellent. It looks like she's accepting.
I second
Second motion.
That nomination.
motion.
Okay, well, okay, Celia or
Does everyone know Amy?
No.
Wave your hand, Amy.
All right.
That's Jean, not. Jean. Okay, guy.
I move that we close nominations.
Second that motion.
second motion? All right. All those in favor of closing nominations?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Looks like all hands up.
All hands up. Okay. All those in favor of Amy Howlett to serve the 1-year term of Celia? Say
All
aye.
right.
Aye, aye, aye.
Move. Cast one vote.
Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations, Amy.
Yay.
Hey.
Congratulations, Celia.
Thank you, Celia.
You're very welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Celia.
You're very welcome.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. You all right with the feedback? Right. We have the nomination now is open for the position of treasurer. It's a one-year term currently held by Alex Barrett, who is seeking re-election.
I'll nominate Alex Barrett.
Wave your hand, Alex.
Is there a second?
Second.
Abigail? Are there any other nominations?
Move they be closed.
Move that they be closed. The second nominations?
I'll second.
Celia? Okay. All those in favor of closing nominations, please raise your hand.
What'd you say?
If you're in favor.
Raise your hand.
Oh,
All hands up here.
thank you, Alex.
Okay. All those in favor of Alex Barrett being the
I thought you just voted
Oh, yeah, again.
again.
okay.
Aye.
All right. Okay. Cast one vote for Alex.
Can we note that I believe that was for the treasurer / tax collector
I think it's
position?
two separate.
A separate one?
Yes.
Very good.
Because I think they're two separate positions.
Very good. Thank you.
Nominations are being held for the position of tax collector, currently held by Alex Barrett, who is seeking re-election. Any other
I nominate Alex Barrett for the
Second.
position of tax collector.
okay, Celia and then Ben. Any other nominations?
I move to close nomination.
Second nominations?
I second that.
Okay. All those in favor of closing nominations, please raise your hand.
All right.
I don't know if we really need to vote, but all those in favor of Alex Barrett?
Yep.
All right.
Here we go.
Yay.
Good.
All right.
Woo. Now, we are going to appoint a delinquent tax collector. Celia has agreed to do that. So Alex will be, he'll have his man in a white hat or something, a man in a black hat to help him.
Louise, why?
Why what?
Why are we having a separate delinquent tax collector?
Because that's a different kind of job and it requires things like going to the town hall and filing liens, and Celia has agreed to do it.
Collector of delinquent taxes.
Oh, yeah, she's not delinquent. It's the tax, it's the tax.
I understand.
Everybody knows this position on the warning, so it is not to be voted on. It's to be appointed by the.
Guy, can you turn on Carl Ball's audio?
Where's Carl?
He's behind the post.
Oh. Unmute yourself, Carl. Carl, unmute.
And I'm trying to.
You're both in the park.
I'm trying to unmute you. Okay.
Hey, am I unmuted now?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Okay.
Did you have a question for him?
No, I wanted to be able to hear him, hear Guy.
All right. We're trying to figure out the feedback.
Well, boy.
Too many mics on.
Yeah.
We need a roadie.
Hey, how things now?
Still too many mics.
Why, yeah, let's, want me to be over by you?
Sure.
cast one vote for Carball to be clerk. Congratulations, Carl.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Very diligent clerk.
Yes.
Okay, nominations are now being open for the position of auditor. Currently held by Chief Saxton, and he is seeking re-election. Any nominations?
I'll nominate Peter Bergstrom.
Okay, Matt, is there a second?
I'll second.
Celia, seconds. Any other nominations? Hearing none. Is there a motion to close nominations?
I would move to close nominations.
Okay, actually, Abigail moved. Matt, I'll take you as a second.
Yes.
Okay, nominations closed. Unanimous. All those in favor of closing nominations, raise your hand.
All hands up here.
All hands up. I declare that Peter Bergstrom is the one of the auditors and cast one vote. Carl for Peter. Nominations are also we have another auditor position. Tom Bowen is seeking re-election. Any nominations for the position of auditor?
I would nominate Tom Bowen.
Okay, Tom, is there a second?
I second.
That was
Susie.
I can't.
Susie Peters.
Okay. Any other nominations?
I would move that nominations close.
I second that.
Okay. All those in favor of closing nominations, please raise your hand. Okay. Opposed? Okay. Declared nominations closed and cast one vote for Tom Bowen.
Thank you, Tom.
And we do have, all right. Is Tom?
No, he's not.
No.
Not that I know.
That's what happens when you're not here.
Tom had a medical emergency.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? Huh.
There is one other position, one other auditor position that is open, and it is currently open. Are there any nominations for the third position of auditor?
Okay.
Okay. I think that being the case, I think we have to leave it up to the trustees of one of their meetings to appoint an auditor.
All right.
Okay. That brings to an end of Article 4. Moving on to Article 5. Article 5, just a moment. Or it's interesting. The motion, okay, this should be actually, well, Article 5, to see if the voters will vote to assess a tax on the grand list of the village for general operating expenses, the indebtedness of the village, and interest for the ensuing year. If so, how much?
Mr. Moderator, I'll move that the village voters approve a general fund budget of $75,050 plus cash on hand as of June 30th, 2019, $19,919.63, with a balance of $55,130.37 to be raised by taxes. And this is Ben Wallace making that motion.
I'll second that.
Who was that? Was that Matt?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Second. Ben, you want to?
Just to,
well, this will open for discussion.
Yeah, for discussion, if you don't mind. So the last year at the village annual meeting, we had a sizable cash on hand balance, as we do again this year, and the tax revenue was reduced by that cash on hand balance. But because the cash on hand is a year behind, we ran a little bit low on funds in the general account this year. We've also got a fire station that needs replacement. So the trustees decided this year to set the general fund budget a bit higher by approximately the amount that was we had cash on hand, so that all of that cash on hand wouldn't be consumed in paying for the general fund, and instead would be available as part of the capital reserve towards the fire station. So that's why the budget is a bit higher this year than in past years. All slated for to go towards the firehouse.
Time for anyone to ask probably Ben or the trustees to raise any questions?
Nope.
John Bohannon, you want to ask a question?
Oh, it's John. Okay.
What does this
Go
actually
ahead, John.
mean?
Say it again. John, go ahead.
To me is there.
Repeat your question, John.
What does this increase actually mean to me as a taxpayer? In general terms, is it a 1% increase, a $10 increase? In general, what are we talking about?
So John, to answer that question, it's a little bit challenging because last year the village tax bills that went out were considerably lower than usual because the cash on hand balance was so high that got applied. So, you know, compared to last year, I don't know the exact percentage, but you know, it'd be substantially higher than what you received for a bill last year. But then going to the prior years, you know, it would be significantly, you know, less of a difference. I don't know if that makes any sense.
So in other words, you got a break last year, but this year we're kind of making up for it?
Basically, with all of it slated to go towards the fire station replacement.
Okay. Any other discussion? I'm not seeing anything.
Nothing.
Okay. We ready for a vote? Okay. The motion, as it stands, it has been moved the village voters approve a general budget of $75,050, less cash on hand as of June 30th, 2019, of $19,919.63, with a balance of $55,130.37 to be raised by taxes. All those in favor, say aye, raise your hand.
Unanimous here.
Unanimous, from what I can see. All right, opposed? Motion passed. Okay, all right, moving on to Article 6. To see what action the voters will take in relation to the collection of taxes.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the voters authorize the tax collector to take whatever legal action is necessary for the collection of taxes.
There's a second. Abigail seconded it. Okay, discussion?
Here.
Nothing here? Okay. It was moved that the voters authorize the tax collector to take whatever legal action is necessary for the collection of taxes. All those in favor, raise your hand.
Unanimous here.
Yep, unanimous here. Okay. Opposed? No. Okay, motion passed. Okay, Article 7. To see if the voters will authorize the treasurer, subject to the approval of trustees, to borrow money if necessary to pay the current operating expenses of the village prior to the collection of taxes.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the voters authorize the treasurer, subject to the approval of the trustees, to borrow money if necessary to pay the current operating expenses of the village prior to the collection of taxes.
Second? Second? Okay, Art, we'll give you a chance, right? All right. Discussion.
Why would that be necessary?
I think that's asked every year. It's just a formality, just in case we probably have emergencies and have to spend money and taxes don't come in, which I would assume could happen this coming year.
I can speak to that. Sarah, periodically, due to cash flow, the timing of the expenses compared to when the tax revenue is collected, we sometimes authorize borrowing money out of one of the capital reserve accounts that the village has, and then we pay that back once the tax revenue comes in. This motion would authorize us to go out and borrow money outside of those capital accounts, but typically that does not happen. But
Thank you, Ben.
Okay.
And Matt.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. What is on hand now is the voters authorize the treasurer, subject to the approval of the trustees, to borrow money if necessary to pay the current operating expenses of the village prior to the collection of taxes.
Do you want to go in? Anything?
No, I'm fine. No, the fly, not.
Okay, wait a minute.
Somebody should be
Have
able
a side conversation.
Question.
All those in favor, raise your hand.
Okay, unanimous here at Main Street Arts.
Okay. Opposed? No. Motion passed. Okay. We're now to Article 8, which is transact any other business proper to be brought before this meeting. Would be of a money nature.
I have other business.
Matt Brennan.
Yes, I'd like to give an update on the fire station. As we know, we had a design of the fire station and an estimated price of $1.253 million. And that was a little beyond the scope of what the village could pay for. We've had many meetings discussing the current design that we had an architectural firm specify every aspect of the construction. And after a tremendous amount of meetings and discussion, we started to pare down the current design. One or two members of the fire station committee recommended we just strip out stuff that wasn't necessary and put it out to bid, which I think is not the way to go. You need to have specifications for a building like this so that when you get pricing on it, the pricing is set and it's not interpretation of someone bidding on it. The request from the trustees was that I reach out to a company that we had spoke with before that is, I don't want to say it's a prefab company, but it's a company that puts up buildings like this, and see what their design cost was. Let me back up a little bit. The design costs, so we got to a point where we needed to redesign the building. It needs to be smaller. There needs to be less in there. And when you start stripping out everything, the structural aspect of it has to be specified so that it's done correctly and it's bid correctly. So to hire an architect again to do all the aspects of the construction, which is from the footings to the finish, the plumbing, the heating, the electrical is all specified when you hire an architect to do these drawings. That's somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000. So the trustees asked that I reach out to this company that is more does different aspects of it, which we had talked with before. They didn't have an overall cost associated with the design aspect of the building. They will come in and do part of it, design it, come and install it on our foundation. But the other aspects of it, which they have done with other municipalities, is you hire someone, a contractor, to put together the other aspects of it, which are the electrical, the plumbing, the heating, and all of these have to be specified and approved by the state of Vermont. Obviously, that's what an architect does. When they give you a set of finished plans, it's ready to go to the state of Vermont for approval, and so on. So without them being able to give me a design number, what it equates to the last go around is about a 20% contractor's fee, which with our current design building was pushing $100,000. So I guess I need direction from the trustees or from the community as far as which way they want to go. And certainly would answer any questions at this point.
Any questions to Matt?
Matt, it's Sarah.
Yes.
One, thank you so much for all the work you do on this. It's a lot of really thankless stuff, and very, very much appreciated. Ave just said something that she's going to get mad at me, but it is such a tough decision to make, especially in the place where we are now.
Right.
I mean, and I don't know how that complicates things, but I'm sure it does.
Right. I have spoken to this other company recently and gave them some parameters for a smaller building, a less involved building that we had designed the first go around, basically a box. And one way of going about this is to take their basic box, if you will, which is the shell. It's the frame, it's the trusses, it's the roof. The outside may or may not be finished depending on what the village would like to see there, and hiring a contractor to put together the other aspects of it, which is finishing the inside, all the interior partitions, the electrical, the plumbing, the heating, so on and so forth, and making sure that it's up to the state standards. I can't tell you what that number is. The building that I gave them is smaller and less involved than the current design we have. But I can't tell you at this point that it would be less expensive to go this route versus just having it designed by an architect until I look into it further. But there's no doubt, and my focus is that we need to, no matter what, we need to be rebuilding a fire station by spring next year. I mean, it's just what we have there is it's just not right.
Any other comments, either directed to Matt or?
And we're always looking for people to join that committee and help them make these decisions.
I think we need people in the fundraising and finding the money to cover it.
Right. But first we have to have a plan so we can
Right.
know how much we have to raise.
Louise, I would disagree. I think you can fundraise without having the plan, so that when we have the plan, that you can have the money for it.
We have to know how much money we need though.
Right.
We need a lot of money, Louise.
Okay. Sky's the limit.
I would target $1 million, and
Okay,
anything
we'll
left
go for
over,
$1
I'm
million.
sure we
All
can
right.
use.
The moderator,
Okay. Oh,
I would just like to, I would like to report that the tote bag sales over the past year since the last annual meeting have amounted to $2,500.
Nice.
$2,500 in tote bags.
Thank you.
Thank you, Celia.
And other people helped as well.
Of course.
Listed the village market of the other people who helped to make tote bags, and there still are tote bags for sale at the village.
That might pay for one sink, right?
it's a start.
Yep.
Any other comments with regard to the firehouse before we move on to any other topic that people want to raise?
I have a question for Matt.
Yeah.
Are the plans available to look at? Are they in a format that can be emailed?
Which the current design?
I think so. In other words, what is going to be in the building? You know, obviously there's an apparatus bay. There's an office. Just, you know, I'd like to look at it and see what's planned out.
Sure. The current prints I could email you those, but as I said, we're trying to downscale. When we went through the process of the first design, we had more pieces of apparatus, and now we're down to 3 pieces of apparatus. So that bay can be smaller.
Right. I'm just wondering what, you know, having lived in a firehouse for 30 years, I know what we had when we lived there. And
Right.
I'm just curious of what we need here.
Yep. Well, I can get you both designs. I don't have a finished design on the second one because I'm just in the beginning process of that, but I have a relative floor plan. Yeah.
Yeah, a floor plan is all I need to look at. In other words, in this corner is the bathroom, in this corner is a, you know, that would be, thank you.
Sure.
Would you like me to show a copy now, real quick, of the one that we were working off that we're trying to pare down?
Absolutely.
Gonna share that screen, Rick?
I would, but the host has disabled my screen sharing.
The hostess, no,
John, it may be a visit.
you're able to share, right?
When I click on share screen, I get a post that says, a pop-up that says host disabled attendee screen sharing. That's okay. We can email it.
ND screen.
Right. And John, I could, they're actually, the prints for the one we have designed are at the fire station.
Oh, they're at the firehouse?
Yeah, yeah. The current one. And so I could meet you there sometime and show you those and the newest one that we've come up with.
Okay.
Anyone, Pat, is this a quick question with regard to the fire?
There's a question on chat. Can you tell us who is on this committee? Someone has, John and Sarah Dunbar asked that question in the chat box.
The fire station committee?
Yes.
Currently myself, Rick Holloway, Art Smith, Peter Golick, and Gaetano Butiano. And I think that's it.
Carl Ball's been joining us on a
Carl
regular
Ball,
basis.
right? Carl Ball has been there. Ben Wallace has been there. But we're at the point where we just need to pare down the square footage, and obviously the architectural design we have of it is a great design. I wish we could afford it. Actually, the chief would like even more than that, and I don't blame him. But the reality is who's paying for it. So we need to get as much as we can in a smaller space, I think, and simplify it a little bit. But certainly would like your input on it, John. And Art has been involved in all of it. We need a new fire station. That's
right.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments directed to or about the firehouse? No, let me open it up then to other topics that people would like to explore. So John, behind you.
Jean Corstange.
Okay, John had his hand up first. So
I would like to know if there's a way to water the park.
For a way to water the park.
Water the grass in the park.
Anyone in the trustees able
You could ask Chris Morrill if he'll give us a hose.
I was going to say that.
Yes.
Oh, Gordon wants to say something.
Well, wait a minute.
What?
Okay, as Jean and Gordon, does this have to do with the park?
I'm trying to open them, but I don't know how.
You gotta unmute them.
We see you, Jean.
Are you unmuted now? Wait a minute.
Unmute yourself, Jean.
Unmute yourself, Jean.
Louise, if you go over to the list of attendees, you can unmute them by clicking on the little red microphone.
There we go.
Right.
We're on.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I just want to say the park is beautiful.
Yeah.
And thank you for all the people who worked to do that park. Every day when I walk by it, even if the lawn isn't watered, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jean. Let's go back to that question. Is there someone from the trustees or?
Well, the Historical Society has water, but BB has not turned it on yet. And so the hose could be run across there to water the grass. Otherwise, something could be set up where you have a suction coming up from the river, that kind of a system. But we
Where's
had
the
really
hose?
nice rain the other day, so
Where's the hose port at the Historical Society? Out back?
no.
Right outside.
There is one out there, but I had another one, but I think it got wrecked.
There's a huge pile of hose that's been out behind there for a long time.
Yeah, that's one, but it doesn't do any good until it turns into water.
No.
We should have a bucket brigade from the river.
What do you say?
Right now, we can all go down there with our buckets.
Right.
So we'll leave it in the hands of the trustees at this point as to the next step.
You could have a bucket brigade.
Right.
Sarah, question.
Last year, the village approved at this annual meeting in 2019 that they would set a speed limit ordinance for the village. Did that happen?
Carl can answer that. He's been doing the research.
But I'm gonna have to come over and use.
You have to move so you can hear.
It's kind of a yes or no question.
No.
It's in progress. We have a draft that we're working on. We've been communicating with the sheriff, Vermont League of Cities and Towns, with the town of Rockingham. We're still working out details. It's not quite done yet. And COVID has sort of slowed us down a bit.
I believe this
That
first came up
answer?
3 years ago, and it would be a form of income for the village.
Right.
Carl has done a lot of research and really has a good handle on it.
It's a little bit more complicated than I would have expected. But we're working on it.
Thank you.
Any other topics that folks would like to raise for the annual meeting? This is the end. Okay, Rob, is that, okay, no, all right. Any other?
Nothing here at Main Street Arts.
Entertaining motion?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn the annual meeting.
Okay.
Second.
Is there a second?
Matt seconded it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't have eyes in the back of my head. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.